Arabia, a land where water is scarce. Animals struggle to survive. The desert mountains conceal a rare waterhole, a wadi, a lifeline to those that endure the inhospitable heat. But animals seeking respite here are at the mercy of predators. Lightning-fast snakes glide on water, hunting down their prey. Tarantulas and scorpions stalk the shadows. And hungry desert foxes prowl under the cover of darkness. These are the wonders of the Wadi. Arabia is home to one of the largest continuous sand deserts on Earth. Vast tracts of sand dunes are broken in places by scorching gravel plains. Dramatic jagged mountains rise on its fringes. Temperatures can hit 54 degrees Celsius. The landscape lacks one vital ingredient for life: water. But seemingly dry river valleys are rare places where water can be found. Here in the mountains, the bedrock is hard enough to trap the little rain that falls, creating normally temporary, though sometimes permanent, pools of water. These pools are known locally as wadis, the Arabic word for valley. This wadi, dwarfed by barren rock faces and towering mountains, may not look like much, but this rare oasis offers a lifeline for wildlife. Toads are one of only a handful of animals that can exist here year-round. Unsurprisingly, amphibians are extremely rare in arid Arabia. Just 9 species are found here. Most are confined to the cooler coastal areas. The Arabian toad is the only species to have penetrated the drier interior, and it is entirely dependent on the wadi. The toad's sudden movement catches a predator's eye. A wadi racer is on the hunt. This deadly specialist lives up to its name. The 1.3-meter snake uses lightning speed to hunt in the pools. The racer produces a mild venom, but since it lacks fangs, it must chew on its prey for the toxin to penetrate its victim. Its favorite food is toad. The snake's vision is especially sensitive to movement. Each time the toad hops, the visual hunter draws closer. If the toad keeps perfectly still, the snake can't detect it. It is a battle of nerves. Incredibly, the snake's tongue seems unable to pinpoint its target, even at point-blank range. The toad's bravery pays off. The Wadi lies in the mountains, rising along the east coast of the Arabian Peninsula. The Al Hajar mountain range stretches 500 kilometers from the United Arab Emirates in the north into the Sultanate of Oman in the south. With peaks of nearly 3,000 meters, these mountains have towered over Arabia's scorched plains for around 20 million years. The river valleys within them are exposed to both long periods of drought and sudden flash flooding. Despite the harsh terrain, animals eke out a living at every level. The king of the castle, found only in the high country, is one of the rarest animals in Arabia and the world. The Arabian Tahr. Fewer than 2,500 of these endangered animals remain. The Al Hajar Mountains are their last refuge. High above the Wadi, there are few resources. Both soil and water run off these hills, leaving them bare and dry. The impervious rock makes it difficult for plants to take root. The barren slopes cannot support large herds of grazers, so Tahrs are usually found in small family groups or on their own. This Billy is tired of living by himself. It's time to find a mate. Sure-footed on the rocks, thanks to his compact rubbery hooves, he struts his stuff, presenting himself to any females who might be watching. His shoveling and head rubbing spread his scent. The churned soil is like a billboard, announcing that a vigorous billy goat is in residence. Already a nanny Tahr watches from afar. He will have to up his game if he's to win the female over. On the lower slopes, closer to the Wadi, other rock climbing specialists make their living. Most geckos, like this fan-footed gecko, have microscopic hair-like structures on their feet and can grip even smooth vertical surfaces. This spacious rock gecko is also perfectly adapted to the steep walls around the Wadi. It is endemic to Arabia and is found mostly in the United Arab Emirates and Oman. Another deadly threat lurks in the shadows. There are nearly 1,000 species of tarantula in the world. This one is brand new to science, so recently discovered that it hasn't been named yet. It's unique to the Wadi systems of Arabia. This bulky female is turning her hideout in the rocks into a deadly trap. The tube-like spinnerets on her backside exude a gluey substance that hardens on contact with air to form very strong threads of silk. She uses the threads to line the inside of her chamber, to reinforce the walls and prevent collapse. But some of the lines of silk extend outside the burrow. Tripwires alerting her to anything that might stroll within striking distance. A grasshopper is a meaty meal. By tarantula standards, she is small. Her body is just 3 centimeters in diameter. But that will not stop her targeting prey her own size. An insect needs only to brush a tripwire, and it is game over. She dispatches her prey with the tarantula's trademark weapons, a huge pair of fangs leading to 2 venom glands. The fangs are jointed and can be moved like fingers to stab the victim and pull it closer to her mouth. She injects enzymes into the corpse that will begin digesting its insides, turning it into an insect smoothie. She sucks her victim dry and discards the empty shell. Darkness reaches the Wadi early, its steep sides shaded from the setting sun. Night, and a little ultraviolet light reveals a deadly scorpion. Fluorescent compounds in his body armor produce the eerie color. Though just why it has evolved to glow in UV light is a mystery. Recent studies reveal that the fluorescence found in the scorpion shell acts as a full-body light sensor, with the tail being especially sensitive. Scorpions hide by day, away from harsh UV sunlight. But preliminary studies show that these arachnids are also less active during full moonlit nights. It may be that the fluorescing helps the scorpion determine the best time to hunt, when light levels are lowest. When it does hunt, tiny slits at the end of its legs can sense vibrations on the ground from anything moving within half a meter of them. Grasshoppers are a popular menu item around the Wadi. The scorpion has sharp pincers for wrestling and dismembering prey. But it carries its main weapon aloft, a sting in the tail, coiled and ready to strike. It takes a fraction of a second for the needle-like tip to pump venom into its victim, if it can get close enough. Before the assassin can move in for the kill, another nocturnal hunter disturbs it. It's a Blandford's fox, a small, agile canine that emerges only at night. Sharp claws and rubbery feet act like sneakers to help him grip as he climbs the rocks around the Wadi. His long tail provides a counterbalance. He will eat just about anything, from insects to desert plants. But it's small mammals he's really after. And they're likely to be close to water. Bats dash in to catch insects attracted to the water. But he's not likely to catch one of these. His large, sensitive ears detect some rustling. A spiny mouse. The rodent forages for seeds and grasses, feeling its way with its long whiskers. For the fox, it's a welcome snack. But he's not alone. An Arabian red fox is also on the prowl. No predator likes competition for food and will drive off or even kill a smaller rival. The Arabian red fox can be 3 or 4 times heavier than a 1.5 kilo Blandford's. The underdog decides not to risk a run-in and heads for higher ground. As the sun rises over the Wadi, so too does the mercury. In summer, temperatures can hit 43 degrees. But the rising heat does not deter the male Tahr. This morning, he intensifies his mating campaign. The female relaxes in what little shade the scant vegetation provides. Try though he might, she just does not seem interested. The male cannot afford to relax. Scent glands at the base of his horns leave a smelly calling card. She does not look impressed. He raises his scent game further. He urinates on the ground, then flicks the pee into his fur. His body odor is loaded with testosterone. The hormone signals to the female that he's in his prime and ready to mate. Ramming the ground with his horns stirs up the scent. Glands on his face add to the aroma as he gives himself a pungent facial. This is goat cologne that the ladies will hopefully find hard to resist. But this female still seems uninterested. Her lackluster presence drives the frustrated male wild. For a finale, he goes in for some prancing. But it seems to have the opposite effect. He may be coming on too strong. Beneath the Tahr, on the valley floor, rare pools of water teem with life. Freshwater fish. Only 3 species survive in the Al Hajar Mountains, and this one is the Oman Gara. They endure only in isolated permanent pools of the Wadi. These tiny fish get by scraping algae and any other detritus from the rock walls of their watery prison. Their survival depends on much-needed rainfall to replenish their shrinking refuge. But rain is unpredictable in Arabia. Some years it does not rain at all. Then some pools will dry up, and the fish in those will die. When the water of the Wadi evaporates to nothing, the Arabian toad vanishes with it. But this is no permanent disappearing act. The toad buries itself in the mud and enters a state of torpor, like hibernation. It lowers its heart rate and metabolism to save energy and keep it safe until water returns. Remarkably, the toad can stay buried for up to 3 years. Little moisture penetrates Arabia's interior. But here, the high altitude of the mountains causes rare clouds to condense. The first drops of rain bring instant relief, tempting some of the residents from their dark crevices. The spacious rock gecko has a remarkable ability to repel water. Tiny hair-like spines all over its scales actively push liquid molecules away. They form bigger droplets that run off. It is a neat trick that helps to keep geckos clean and free from fungal infections. 80% of the water that falls in the mountains will evaporate. The rest quickly runs off the hard ground and into cracks in the rocks. Rain here in the Al Hajar Mountains is erratic and unreliable. A mere 15 centimeters falls each year, and it comes in only a few short, heavy bursts. The toads instinctively know that when water comes, it can come fast and furious. They scramble to higher ground to avoid being washed away. The rain runs off the mountains, building momentum as it descends to the valley floor. Light rain can quickly turn tranquil pools into rapids. While toads stay clear, the rushing water has the opposite effect on the garrafish. This is the opportunity they've been waiting for. They have a mysterious, instinctive drive to always explore upstream, driven by the need to expand their territory. They take whatever opportunity they can to forge into the current. This is how the species can recolonize areas where the previous inhabitants have perished. But this is not just fish swimming upriver. These fish undertake an epic climb. Their sucker mouths, which usually scrape algae from the rocks, become anchors, securing them against the fast-flowing water. A group inches its way up the rocks. The fish must stay within the splash zone in order to breathe, but stay out of the main flow to avoid being washed back downstream. The fish can travel up to 3 meters. For those that make it into new pools, there are fresh possibilities, food, and a new territory to colonize. The stress of the journey is also thought to trigger their spawning behavior, to make sure every new pool is quickly populated by the pioneers. Their sticky eggs will settle in the gravel to stop them washing back downstream. The rushing water is a mixed blessing. It creates opportunity for some, but a challenge for others. This endemic Oman carpet viper usually hides in crevices by the Wadi pools, knowing they are a good place to hunt. But the sudden water flushes this one from its lair. He struggles against the current. Luckily, the water brings him to rest against the rocks, where he can climb in search of higher sanctuary. The sudden surge of water is short-lived. But it can claim victims. A goat lies dead at the water's edge. Perhaps it was trapped by floodwater or washed downstream. Its rotting body provides sustenance for insects. Their ability to complete their life cycles in just a few days means insects are quick to exploit fresh opportunities. Flesh-eating flies taste their food with their feet. They secrete enzyme-packed saliva from their mouthparts to break down the flesh, making it easier to consume. They also look for places to lay their eggs, where maggots can hatch and join in the feast. Wasps are better equipped to deal with a tough carcass. They have powerful shearing mouthparts to tear through flesh. Adult wasps are primarily plant eaters, but they will carry tiny mouthfuls of meat to their nests to feed hungry carnivorous grubs. Dragonflies are among the top predators of the Wadi. Their compound eyes contain 10 times greater variation in proteins than human eyes, allowing them to see a far wider range of colors. Their image resolution gives them ultra high-definition vision. They can collect and interpret 300 images per second, 6 times more than us. Their forewings flap 30 times a second, giving them incredible aerial agility. Like miniature helicopters, they can travel in any direction to outmaneuver prey. In turn, the insects are magnets for bird life. Like dragonflies, pale crag martins catch insects on the wing. These acrobatic members of the swallow family are attracted to the high rocky ledges and overhangs around the mountain wadi. Here, pairs of breeding residents build their nests using fresh mud from the valley below. Nests can take several weeks to construct, but the high-rise homes will protect their young from predators. One bird visitor does not need such high-level security. The nightjar is so well camouflaged that as long as it doesn't move, it is almost impossible to see. It too catches insects on the wing, but only at night. By day, it remains inactive, keeping a low profile on the ground, away from hungry eyes. There is little cover on the bare rock faces of the wadi, but it suits this predatory master of the skies. The Oman carpet viper, now recovered from its sudden swim, is one of the deadliest wadi residents. This 75-centimeter snake with unusually long fangs can inject deadly venom deep into its victims. It only inhabits the mountainous regions, especially near wadis, where it waits to ambush passing prey. A toad would make an ample meal for the predator, but only if it ventures into the strike zone. But it's not close enough today. While the flash flood is long gone, residual moisture hangs in the air. For the next few weeks after rain, the humidity and replenished surface water nurture rare plant life around the wadi. Out on the gravel plains, there is no sign of the water that drenched the rocks only days earlier. But scrubby plant life now sports fresh green growth. Mountain gazelles are quick to exploit the new moisture-rich vegetation. Like many desert specialists, these delicate antelope get most of their water from their plant diet. Out here, opportunities to drink fresh water are few and far between. As darkness descends over the wadi, an Arabian toad prepares to make the most of the night ahead. The toad is an opportunistic breeder. Rain often triggers spawning. This one is ready to find a mate. He needs to put on his best voice to serenade the females. His extending throat pouch amplifies his call, which echoes around the Wadi. The bigger the croak, the better his chances will be. But he has competition. Soon there's a choir of toads, a chorus of single males, trying out their best chatter lines. He spots a passing female and leapfrogs onto her back. He uses sticky pads on his front feet to try to attach himself. His love interest does her best to wriggle free. But there's a problem. She appears to be a he. In most toads, only males have the expandable throat sacs, which allow them to amplify their calls. It's not uncommon for male toads to jump on each other. Usually, a release call by the love interest thwarts the would-be suitor. But not this one. He holds tight, determined to attempt amplexus, the pairing that triggers spawning in externally fertilizing amphibians. Males can cling on to females for hours or even days, waiting for the moment when their partners deposit their eggs. When a female begins to lay, the male will release his sperm to fertilize the emerging eggs. But tonight his efforts will be futile. Eventually the male releases his grip and heads off to try again. As a new day dawns, the mountain wadi is eerily quiet. On the rocky slopes above, the Tahr's elaborate mating display seems to have finally paid off. The female has returned and now rarely leaves his side. The pair will stay together and raise their young here. With just a few thousand Arabian Tahr left in the world, the success of every breeding pair is vital to the future of the species. A few weeks following successful toad spawning, the temporary pools are packed with Arabian toad tadpoles. They now race to reach maturity, eating as much as they can to fuel their body's transformation. The more they eat, the sooner they will be able to complete their metamorphosis. Legs develop at the base of their tails, which begin to shrink. Their mouths turn from simple algae-sucking lips to insect-crushing jaws. Crucially, primitive internal lungs replace their external aquatic gills. Only those that complete the transformation will cope when the pools dry up. Any young garrafish that have matured in small temporary pools now face the greatest instinctive challenge of their young lives. They must clamber their way to permanent pools. In just a few weeks, the flow of water from the hills will cease completely, and most pools will shrink away. The Wadi will retain some water, so as long as the fish reach this permanent sanctuary, they will survive. It's a long, hard struggle. Many fish are left high and almost dry. Unable to breathe in the air that envelops them, they gasp, trying to extract oxygen from the remaining moisture. Their powerful bodies catapult them as they attempt to find their way to another puddle. A handful of lucky fish wriggle their way to salvation. Enough to replenish the pool and ensure the future survival of the local population. In this harshest of environments, all animals live on a knife edge. The landscape can give and take away in an instant. For most, existence would be impossible without the tiny pockets of water cradled in the Wadi. A miniature oasis in Arabia's Inferno. A lifeline in the desert. A scorching sun blazes over the Arabian landscape. Summer is the most challenging season for animals to endure. Wing migrations allow some to escape the soaring temperatures. Those that stay need to beat the heat. From the largest raptors to the smallest pilots. These are Arabia's aerial masters. A bird of prey soars over the barren Arabian landscape. An Egyptian vulture on the lookout for food. With a wingspan of more than 1.5 meters, it is one of Arabia's most majestic and endangered aerial masters. The vulture's white body feathers contrast sharply with dark flight feathers, creating a dramatic silhouette against the sky. This purely visual hunter can travel up to 80 kilometers a day in the blistering heat. In summer, temperatures here can exceed 50 degrees Celsius. circling vultures point to the possibility of carrion on the ground. A rocky outcrop is a good vantage point to survey the scene below. Death is never far away in this desolate land. But one animal's loss is a scavenger's gain. More than 700 species of bird are found on the Arabian Peninsula. The region is a transit hub for thousands of birds moving between feeding and breeding grounds in Europe, Africa, and Asia. It's estimated that 3 billion migrating birds cross Arabia every year. Many birds of prey leave for cooler areas before the scorching summer heat takes hold. But a resident population of Egyptian vultures remains year-round. This mix of adults and darker juveniles are in for the long haul. An unlucky goat provides a welcome feast. Although it will take some live prey, carrion makes up most of the vulture's diet. The newcomer surveys the scene from above. Vulture etiquette requires that new arrivals and dark-feathered juveniles wait their turn. Up close, the fully grown Egyptian vulture is a curious-looking bird. Its mostly white feathers and distinctive featherless yellow face mark it apart from other vultures. The white helps to reflect the sun, enabling the bird to stay cool in the Arabian heat. The bare skin on its face may also help control its body temperature. Unlike other vultures who have bare necks, the Egyptian has a shaggy ruff of feathers that stays largely clean as it feeds. Vultures are nature's master recyclers. They provide a vital service in removing organic waste, clearing up potentially disease-causing carcasses. Above the feast, more hungry vultures arrive. Wing flapping is hard work for a bird weighing more than 2 kilos. So like other birds of prey, the vulture uses rising columns of warm air, called thermals, to stay airborne for longer. It uses its wedge-shaped tail to steer in circles, to stay within the rising warm air columns and maximize uplift, enabling it to soar. This increases its chances to pinpoint prey or other vultures who already have. For birds associated with fresh water, the desert may seem an unlikely place to take up residence. But one of Arabia's most flamboyant aerial masters has done just that. More than 2,000 flamingos have made their home at a flooded salt flat on the industrial outskirts of Abu Dhabi city in the United Arab Emirates. Man-managed lakes like these at the Al Wathba wetlands provide a rare lifeline to Arabia's resident and migrating birds. Like the vultures, these greater flamingos will endure the excessive summer heat and stay year-round. Flamingos are strong flyers once in the air, but takeoff requires more effort. These 3-kilo birds must run as they beat their wings for liftoff. Once up, they are graceful, stretching their long necks and long legs into a straight line measuring up to 1.5 meters. Wingtip to wingtip, they're almost as wide as they are long. Their wing beats, interspersed with short glides, keep them airborne over long distances. Flamingos have been recorded flying up to 600 kilometers a night. And like other group travelers, conserve their energy by flying in formation, maximizing use of a slipstream. As they come into land, these graceful birds glide, then run a few paces as they touch down. In 1998, this remarkable population was the first to breed on the Arabian Peninsula, after an absence of more than 70 years. Each year, parents build their sandy mud nests on remote islands in the middle of the lake, far away from egg predators like foxes or monitor lizards. The flamingos share this vital inland wetland with a number of other waders, including winner of the title World's Longest Legged Bird relative to body size, the black-winged stilt. Its distinctive red legs make up 60% of its height and enable it to wade out to feeding areas where shorter waders cannot go. Stilts also breed around the lake in summer. Light grey juveniles and adults stride out in search of aquatic insects or tiny crustaceans that they mostly peck on or near the surface. This rare wetland is vital to Arabia's birds. 460 species are found in the United Arab Emirates. More than half have been recorded here at Al Wathba. Islands around the Arabian Peninsula provide sanctuary for many other nesting birds. During summer, those that spend most of their lives at sea come ashore to breed. Like these bridal terns, which have found a piece of prime nesting real estate. But it's not their nest. This spacious twig basket belongs to a much bigger bird. Above them, an osprey perches on a telecom's tower. Osprey like a high vantage point to hunt from. Trees are scarce, so they take full advantage of man-made structures. Where numbers of breeding ospreys are decreasing, platforms have been erected to encourage these magnificent birds to nest once more. This juvenile is too young to breed, is just starting out in life. Its parents will hopefully return to their nest later in the year. Here, the terns use the osprey nest simply as a lookout post or to catch a breeze. They prefer to nest among the scant vegetation or in shallow scrapes on the ground. Swift terns, with their distinctive black crests and large yellow bills, pack together in a show of breeding solidarity as they incubate their eggs. Even in the shade, the ground can reach egg-busting temperatures of almost 40 degrees. This sparrow tries to cool its precious egg by standing and exposing it to the sea breeze. Nearby, a quarrel breaks out amongst the neighbors. Two male sooty gulls are locked in a bitter territorial dispute. An incubating female watches on. Gulls are monogamous, but rivalry over territory can be brutal. Eventually, one of the males concedes defeat. This female keeps cool by opening her bill. Unlike humans, birds do not have sweat glands to perspire. So this gaping enables her and her neighbors to lose body heat from their respiratory system. It's the avian equivalent of panting and prevents birds from overheating. Sandy coastal areas provide invaluable habitat for one rather unusual shorebird. These are crab plovers. Despite their name, they're not a true plover, one of the largest families of wading birds. Crab plovers have no living relatives. In evolutionary terms, they are one of a kind. There are estimated to be 4,000 breeding pairs in Arabia. The United Arab Emirates on the northern coast hosts 2 major colonies. A third lies further south in Oman on Shagaf Island off Masirah. In summer, the islands feel the full force of the Indian monsoon winds driving in off the Arabian Sea. By July, most of this year's chicks have fledged. A few light grey juveniles remain among the adults. With breeding over for another year, many colony members disperse to a handful of feeding grounds elsewhere along Oman's coast. For those that remain, the shoreline provides ample chances to eat. There's a reason why it's called the crab plover. Its specialized bill is thicker than other wading birds, so it can puncture its hard-shelled prey. Further inland, on Masirah Island, the goat feast is now well underway. Strong, sharp beaks are one of the defining features of a raptor. Coupled with acute vision and powerful talons, the Egyptian vulture is well equipped to find and dismember large prey. Its long, narrow beak with a curved tip is perfect for removing every last scrap of flesh from the bones. There are 23 species of vulture in the world. The Egyptian is one of the most endangered. Oman is a stronghold for this curious scavenger. And this island is the second densest breeding site in the world. Up to 80 pairs are estimated to nest here. Vulture etiquette dictates a strict code of dining conduct. Large white adults with stronger beaks are top of the pecking order. Lighter brown subadults are next. The dark brown juveniles must wait their turn. It seems that this determined youngster did not get the memo. The older birds tackle the carcass with apparent calm. Occasionally, tempers flare over the prime cuts. Theft is rife, but today at least, retaliation is rare. As the vultures clean up the now scattered remains, the juveniles take their chances. One spots an opportunity, but the adult is too quick for it. Another juvenile is bolder and secures its prize with its foot. Challenging an adult to a tug of war takes guts. Scavenging ravens shadow the vultures, but appear to know better than to take on a hungry raptor. Those that have had enough take advantage of a rare stream of water to wash down their meals. Like most birds of prey, the vulture has a crop, a large pouch in its throat, where it can store extra food for later, a useful adaptation for this feast or famine lifestyle. Further south, thousands of seabirds fly low in formation over the Arabian Sea. Lines of cormorants are on their way to rest after a busy day of fishing. Like the flamingos, formation flight saves vital energy. Birds in front create a trail of turbulence. This can give the birds behind some extra lift, meaning they don't have to flap as much to maintain flight. The cormorants leapfrog over each other, taking it in turns to benefit. These are Socotra cormorants, a threatened species found only in Arabia. They live exclusively on the northeast and southern coasts and nest in just 13 known colonies in the world. The birds are highly gregarious and gather in enormous flocks, sometimes in their tens of thousands. Come late afternoon, they congregate offshore in huge rafts. Here, they wait until just before dusk, when they will come onto land to roost in the coastal cliffs. Away from the sea breezes, birds must find other ways to cool off. Great cormorants, cousins of the endemic Socotras, are mostly found inland. These two flutter their throats to increase evaporative heat loss, an action known as gular flutter. Most, if not all birds, do this to reduce severe heat stress. The other main strategy birds employ to control their body temperature is by opening their wings. This grey-headed kingfisher tilts its outstretched wings down, enabling air to circulate around its body and through its feathers. But nothing beats the heat better than a refreshing dip in the water. A pair of weaver birds takes the plunge on a hot afternoon. They're not the only bathers in this pool. A starling ducks its head, flicks its wings, and shakes its tail feathers to distribute the cooling water through its plumage. A bulbul soaks his feathers, then repeats this bathing ritual. Winged insects dart around the communal bathers. Dragonflies are among the world's most skilled aerial acrobats. Large, powerful flight muscles and ultra-fast wing beats enable them to hover like helicopters. Fore and hind wings move separately, giving the dragonfly exceptional flight control. They can turn 180 degrees in a tenth of a second. Brilliant blue damselflies skim over the water surface. When resting, they fold their wings over their abdomen, in contrast to the dragonfly that holds its wings out horizontally. As sunlight begins to fade over the rocky boulders of the desert, the first of the nocturnal aerial masters emerges from its daytime roost. A little owl. At just over 20 centimeters tall and weighing about 180 grams, this resident lives up to its diminutive name. This owl is not alone. Its mate waits among the rocks beneath their boulder home as they prepare for a night out hunting. The little owl is one of 10 species of owl found in Arabia. Their nocturnal lifestyles enable them to stay year-round, as they become active in the coolest part of the day. A leafless desert tree provides a decent lookout post to survey their territory from. But maybe it's not quite high enough. Coastal mountains provide daytime refuge to another nocturnal hunter, the only mammal capable of powered flight. Bats. These mouse-tailed bats stay hidden away during daylight. Measuring as little as 12 centimeters, half of the bat's total length is made up of a thin, mouse-like tail, which is how it gets its name. Tiny claws enable them to cling onto the cave walls as they too wait for darkness to fall. Colonies comprise of up to 100 individuals. Small splinter groups cluster in cavities and crevices in the rock. Just before dusk, the bats begin to get restless as they prepare for a night of hunting on the wing. Like most bats, the mousetail uses echolocation to navigate and detect prey. This biological sonar allows it to see using only sound. On takeoff, the bat emits a high-frequency chirp through its nostrils. How long it takes the sound to come back tells the bat how far away an object is. Inside the cave, this enables the bat to determine where the walls and any obstacles are. Contrary to the common saying, bats are not blind. Their eyesight is almost as good as ours, but their use of echolocation enables them to hunt in complete darkness. As night falls, the aerial pursuits begin. The mousetail bats seek out pools of water, first to quench their thirst, then to catch insects on the wing. Cooler nighttime temperatures help dissipate the heat generated by mussels in flight. As dawn approaches, the bats return to their roost. Landing backwards and upside down looks effortless, but it requires acrobatic skill. To flip itself over, the bat pulls one wing close to its body and extends the other. This shift in weight creates inertia, or a resistance to the change in motion, forcing the bat to somersault and land head under heels. The little owls too return to roost in the early hours of the new day. Come September, summer begins to loosen its hold over the Arabian landscape. The first of the winter migrants arrive from Europe and Asia. This sandpiper is one of the early birds. The end of the month signals the return of the first migratory raptors. A hungry western marsh harrier cruises silently over a lagoon. With a wingspan of more than 1.3 meters, it's the largest species of harrier in the world. The water below offers plenty of small waterfowl as prey. Towering above the harrier's potential victims, flamingos wade elegantly through the shallows in search of food. They use their feet to churn up the mud, disturbing their miniature prey. Flamingos feed with their heads upside down, filtering small invertebrates through their distinctive large bills. Unusual in birds, the lower jaw is thicker and stronger than the upper one. When upside down, of course, this allows the flamingo to move the lighter upper jaw with greater ease, as it filters its food through rows of horny plates. Flamingos are not the only avian filter feeders here. The northern shoveler sieves its food through comb-like projections on the edge of its wide, shovel-like bill, which gives the duck its name. This clever adaptation enables the bird to skim plankton, plant matter, and tiny crustaceans off the water's surface. The ducks are migratory, arriving from their breeding grounds in Europe and Asia to feed over the warmer Arabian winter. Some of the permanent lagoon residents are equipped with bills for precision hunting. An egret is on the lookout for fish. It too uses its feet to flush out its prey. The marsh harrier continues its search for food. A large northern shoveler may be too big, but a smaller duck would make a good meal. As the predator glides down, its keen eyes pick out a potential target, moving away from the safety of a group. The harrier is onto it. The duck dives to safety. The harrier can't take it under the water, but it is prepared to wait for its target to resurface. The word harrier comes from the Old English verb to harry, meaning to persistently harass. This harrier is living up to its name. Each time the duck comes up for air, its tormentor is waiting. This is a battle of endurance. How long can the duck hold its breath versus how long can the harrier harry? For the harrier to maintain its position above its target takes strength and effort. In the end, the duck is too quick. The harrier gives up. Grabbing a bite to eat shouldn't be this hard. Birds of prey are increasingly being drawn to Arabia's urban areas, where these man-made wetlands and rubbish dumps offer greater opportunities to feed. Come October, eagles become an increasingly common sight, as they too arrive for the winter. This greater spotted eagle is one of 10 species found in Arabia. Its sharp eyes are able to pinpoint prey up to 90 meters away. On the shore, lapwings appear unconcerned by the predator in their midst. Like most aerial hunters, the sharp-taloned eagle poses little danger on the ground. Another perched high on a lookout tree is a different matter. A nervous lapwing mobs it in an attempt to chase it off, but the eagle remains unmoved. Like the marsh harrier, the greater spotted eagle hunts waterbirds and small mammals. But it also has a scavenger's taste for carrion. Young Egyptian vultures, like those hatched here in Oman, take around 4 years to become adults. The ugly ducklings may never become beautiful swans, but this youngster's transformation to its lighter adult plumage is now well underway. Egyptian vultures from breeding grounds further north are also arriving for the winter. Populations in Central Asia and Southern Europe are in drastic decline as the birds fall victim to poisonings, hunting, and power lines. Oman is one of the few places in the world where numbers appear to be stable. It's possible that the resident population of this endangered raptor may even be increasing. Further north in the United Arab Emirates, the waders are settling in for the winter months. Waterproofing their feathers is an important part of the flamingo's daily ritual. They use their bills to distribute oil from a gland at the base of their tails through their plumage. Flamingos spend 15 to 30% of the day preening, up to 3 times longer than most waterfowl. Resident numbers at Al-Wathba are swelled by migrating flamingos. Some may have flown more than 4,000 kilometers south to be here. The population can double over winter. More than 4,000 flamingos have been recorded at this one vital wetland. In spring, many of Arabia's aerial masters will depart once more. Migrants may go, but the resident birds, insects, and even a flying mammal will once again endure the searing summer temperatures of the Arabian Inferno.